Aloha, MBC family, and I want to share with you today from Philippians chapter 4 and verse 4. Very short verse, but very packed, full of great stuff. It says this, always be full of joy. Again, I say rejoice. The Apostle Paul wrote that challenge to the church of Philippi from a prison cell. He was sitting in jail. And he says, hey, I want you to be full of joy. And again, if you didn't get it the first time, I'm going to say it, rejoice. So my question to you today is, how full of joy have you been recently? You know, we have gauges on our vehicles that tell us where our level of gas is. You know, we can tell if we've got a quarter tank, half a tank, 3/4 a tank, or if our tank is full. And it tells us when we look at that gauge what capacity our fuel is so that we can get to where we're going. I often have thought, what if we had a little gauge built in on us somewhere that was our joy gauge, that measured how much joy that we have in us right now, whether we were quarter, half, 3/4, or full of joy. Where would you be right now? These times are difficult, and I find myself many times having to check my joy gauge, because at times I find that my joy has dropped drastically. And I discover that the reason for that is kind of twofold for me. One is I'm spending too much time focused on the circumstances of right now. And when I do that, when I consume too much of the circumstances that I can see, I find my joy many times begins to drop down on that joy gauge. The other thing I realize is to get that joy back up, I have to link my joy with hope. Hope is that confident expecting that good is coming. And in order to do that, I've got to get my focus off my circumstances and get my focus on a sovereign God who's in control, because He's the one that will give me hope to know that good is eventually going to come. If I focus on the circumstances of right now, I can get real discouraged and real joyless. When I focus on the God who's in control, my hope rises, and as my hope rises, my joy gauge begins to go up toward full. So I want to encourage you, be full of joy. Link it to hope. We've got this God who's in control, who is going to bring good about. May not come right away, but it's coming. Check that joy gauge on a regular basis. Be full of joy. Well, a couple of announcements concerning things that are coming up. First of all, I want to thank you for the great honor that you gave Louise and I this past Sunday with regard to our 25th anniversary here at the church. It was a total surprise, blew us out of the water. Thank you so much for the generous gift, and we are just so excited about what you guys have done for us, and we will tell you more about that furniture that will soon be coming. And I wanted to also remind you, we made an announcement this Sunday that our kids' ministry would be opening this coming Sunday, but that's not the correct date. The correct date is July 5th. So it won't be this Sunday, but the following Sunday, July 5th, Nursery and Children's Church we're expecting to have open. We're going to put those guidelines out for you next week, because there are going to be some safety things that we want to follow, and we'll give you more information as that gets closer. So all of you with kids that have been waiting, we're getting close. Time is coming. This Sunday will be Clinton and Mackenzie's last Sunday with us before they head out to move to the mainland, where Clinton will be attending Bethlehem College and Seminary in Minnesota. And we want to give them a good send-off. We're going to have a potluck after service. We have explained that the potluck will be outside. We want it in a well-ventilated area. We're going to do some things, for safety precautions. We're going to have servers with gloves, masks, just to make everybody safe and comfortable. And again, if you're not comfortable with eating, we ask, stay in fellowship. We're going to be outside. We're going to be spread out. And we want you to feel safe and comfortable, but we also want to fellowship and enjoy this last Sunday with Clinton and Mackenzie. So we encourage you to come Sunday as we celebrate their ministry with us over the last 2.5 years and the ministry that God's calling them to now. Hey, as I close out, Romans 12:1, remember, rejoice in our confident hope. Be patient in trouble. And whatever you do, keep on praying. God bless you. Hope to see you Sunday.